Good evening and welcome to Making the Shift. Today talking about 6 steps to becoming the new you. Such an important topic. So often people that we work with are wanting to make massive change in their life but not really sure how to do it. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is how you can actually start to bring those things into action, put them into place in your life and really start to make those positive shifts that you want to bring the things forward into your life and bring the success and all of your goals that you want into your life that you've been trying to get over the last couple of years. Okay, really important this stuff to start to take control and bring these things forward, and we can only do that by getting down what it is that you want to achieve and starting to put the plans in place and the steps in place to actually make that happen. So basically there's 6 steps to this. Okay, and right up front, we're going to start to look into the very, very first important part, which is all about your motivation. Okay, so step number 1 is motivation, or you might say a reason. Now, you at this point in time in your life have something that you want to achieve, but there's been something that's been stopping you getting there previously. Okay, now what we've got to start to do is to look at what it is that you want to achieve and really start to question why it is that you haven't actually taken those steps so far forward to actually putting the action into place to making it happen. Now, this all comes down to the motivation. Now, quite commonly what we need as humans is an external factor to make us actually start to move forward. Quite commonly we need something to happen, we need an event. A lot of people, they might need to get sick. You know, they may need to have a financial crisis, they may need to have a bit of an emotional crisis to actually start to take those steps. So one thing to really start to look at is to figure out what that motivation is for yourself. And quite commonly, you know, it may not be something that just appears, it may not be something that just comes forward and presents itself to you for you to be able to actually, you know, just be pushed into making your decision for yourself. You know, sometimes it's literally a case of starting to actually seriously consider the things that you want to do and make your life the priority. You know, all too commonly, we're not allowing our dreams and our goals to be the priority in our life. So first and foremost, for this whole talk, what we're going to be doing is actually building and having a little bit of homework for us to actually go away and think about this stuff over the next few days, over the next week, start to actually put the plans in place to bring this stuff to life. So, homework number 1, your motivation or your reason. Okay, what I want everybody to do is to go away and write down what it is that's your motivation for change. Now, whatever it is that you want, what is it that's your motivation for that change? Now, you know, for some people it may be that you're sick of work, you're sick of working to the bone, you're sick of your boss, you're sick of your job, you don't get paid enough. You know, whatever that be within work, it might be relationships. You know, that really you want to improve your relationships. You might want better communication skills. You may want more time with your wife. You might want more time with your children. You know, your relationships may just not be very effective. You know, how do you make that? Is that your motivation? Is it something to do with your health? Do you have health goals? You know, have you been told something recently that you're suffering with something? Have you had a long-term suffering with some kind of a chronic illness? You know, are you looking to lose weight? Are you looking to gain weight? You know, do you want to get more muscular? Do you want to improve your sporting abilities? Whatever it be, and what I want you to do is to list all of the reasons why whatever it is you want to achieve is really important. Okay, now for this, obviously, if you've not got your goals, if you're not really sure at this point what it is that you'd like to achieve, then you know, go back to one of the other videos where we discuss goal setting. But even if it's just one thing to start with, you know, you don't need an enormous number of things to try and achieve. Most people can't actually get down to achieving one thing, let alone a whole host. So totally fine if all you want to do is pick one goal for now and really work towards that. So go away, pick your goal after this call, and then write all of the reasons why you want to achieve that. You know, and hopefully in there something will really trigger for you. You know, you sit and write them down and hopefully something will really grab you. And quite commonly what we'll be doing is looking for those externalized factors, but within all of the things that you note down, there are the reasons why you need to achieve what you want to achieve. There's going to be an underlying thread to it. What I really want you to do is within that, really start to think of what the emotional reason is for you wanting to achieve those goals. And what you may want to do is wrap them all up and ask yourself why. Now, why is it that I want to do this? Why is it that I want to lose weight? Is it to look good? Okay, if I want to look good, why is it I want to look good? Is it for self-confidence? I want my confidence to be better. I want for my husband to look at me again like I'm sexy. I want to get a new husband because I'm about to bin this guy off because he's a waste of time. Is it purely that you may want to be accepted a little bit more as in society, that you'd feel like people accept you a little bit better if you've got a better body? Is it for sporting reasons? Whatever it be, what is the reason behind you wanting that? And that will be emotional. That'll be something that really, really connects with you. And that's an example. Obviously, money, any other thing that you have, there's going to be an emotional reason for that. And when you found that emotional reason, I'd like you to just look again and go a level deeper and ask yourself, okay, well, why is that? And what we're going to be drilling down towards here then is some pain points. And there might be something that's a little bit uncomfortable. You might go, well, actually, I'm sick of the way people treat me. I'm sick of being the person that's like the butt of the jokes. I'm sick of being, I'm sick of my husband looking at other people. I want to be paid a bit more attention. Whatever it be. I think it's really, really important to get past the first layer, which the first layer of reasons that you write down will generally be materialistic, quite surface level, not necessarily like a visceral internal feeling, and those things that you put on the first instance, they're not the things that really drive people to commit. They're not things that drive people to change, but they're the reasons that we give ourselves. And sometimes we're just lying to ourselves. So really important to go through and ask yourself why. Why do I want this? Why do I want this? And you might actually have to do this a couple of times and have a bit of a conversation with yourself to figure out, why it is that you want that change so that you really commit to it. Okay, so for an instance with me, I was asked this about why I wanted to be successful. And my conversation, I said, oh well, I want to have money. I want to have money. I want to have a nice car, a nice house. I just want to be able to do what I want. And the guy who was running this workshop said to me, okay, well, why do you want that? And I was like, well, I guess that those things are a measure of achievement. I want to achieve. I played lacrosse for England. That was an achievement, and I've always done well at school, and I've got a job, and I think it just having money and all those things just shows that I've achieved. And he goes, okay, well, why do you want that? And I go, well, I kind of sat for a second, and I said, well, I guess it'd be nice to show my parents that that I'd done well, that all of the sacrifices they made for me were good, and that they brought me up well, and that all the love that they'd shown me had been worthwhile. And and if you go through that similar kind of process yourself, like when I said that, even saying it now, like in my gut, I can feel it in my gut, this, and I think if you go through that yourself, you've got to lock in to know what it is that's important. Because unless you find out why it's important to you, then it never will be. It'll always be something that you just kind of want to do and not necessarily have to do. And it can be important to look and go, say with health, to lock on and go, well, if you don't take control of your health now, every day that you don't be proactive with your health, you're stealing a day from your children, from your grandchildren. I'd give anything to have another another day, another week, another month, another year with my gran who died recently, and she didn't. You know, she couldn't live any longer. She'd had a great life, but selfishly, I'd love to have more with her. And realistically, each of us have the position here to, at any given time, to make a decision to make change in our life for the better and commit to it. So really important that you find something to lock to, which you can go, do you know what? That means something to me. And that I'm going to commit to that thought, because losing a couple of kilos, looking good in a bikini, you know, maybe having a bit of a nicer car or whatever it be, those things they're sometimes not powerful enough to break habits, because our habits are ingrained in our subconscious and we've got no control over them. You need something that works at that subconscious emotional level that, like, you know, absolutely has a burning channel from your heart and your soul to your brain to take control. You know, and there's all these things that you do or don't do because of your values and because of your beliefs, and because of, you know, the way that you feel. And you've got to bypass, you know, your brains, which are your habits, which are controlled by, you know, basically by your logical mind. You know, whether you want to do something, when you've got the motivation to go through the pain of giving something up or changing your routine, you've got to lock in viscerally to make that lock in your brain that I do or don't do that, and have the statement and write this down. This is who I am now. This is who I am now. You know, you make the decision that from this day forward, I am this person. And I will act the way that this person would act. You know, and nothing will stop me from doing that. So really important to do that. So motivation, step number 1. Okay? By the way, guys, if you're liking this, flick me some likes and stuff. Put a comment in, say hello. Pretty easy, just say hello. Hi, Dave. Anything that you hear that you think's good, comment in the box. Just repeat what you think's good, because it lets me know the things that you like. If I say something rubbish, feel free to tell me. You know, invite anyone, comment if someone needs to see this, or if you watch these regularly, tap the screen, hit share it on your wall. I'd really appreciate that. So yeah, guys, step 2, decision. Okay, decision is the next bit. Okay, now we commonly talk about this as drawing your line in the sand. In our training, we say drawing the line in the sand, like, you know, that is it. No more. From this day forward, things are going to be different. And you have to make that decision for yourself. You know, one of the girls in our community, Shelley, I think she's actually on this call, I think, says she is, physically went to the beach and shot a video of her drawing a line in the sand. She shot a video and said about how life had been and how from this day forward it was going to be different. And she physically drew a line in the sand and stepped over it. Now, doing it physically is super powerful. It's like, you know, when people do cleansing, purging, and they burn their ex's stuff, or, you know, when if somebody's passed and you clear the bedroom or whatever else, it's a, you know, that you move on and you have a defining moment where you move on. And I encourage anybody to do that and to have a defining moment for you where you go, that is it. Whether you have to smoke the last pack of fags, whether you've got to eat all the crap in the cupboard, whether you go and physically bin everything. You know, one of the girls in the community recently was looking at her clothes and some things that she was hiding in, like she was wearing clothes that it was like hiding from the world in her comfies and all that kind of stuff. But she was a different person in the new clothes, in her nice clothes. And she literally cleared out 80% of her wardrobe. 80% of a wardrobe she threw away or charity shopped or whatever, but that was it. Bang, it all just went one night. A friend came over and they cleared it all out. She's been like a new person since. So what is going to be your line in the sand moment? You know, it doesn't have to be a big ceremony, but what are you going to do to make that decision? You've got your motivation, you've got your reason, and you lock that down. And I'd suggest write it down. If you need a story, like an actual thing of a memory as to something that happened, like I would never smoke and become a smoker. Why? Because I learned really early that it wasn't good for you. And I wrote my mum a letter when I was about 3 or 4 saying, please mummy, stop smoking because I don't want you to get cancer and die. And like that has always stayed with me. So whatever it be that's your reason, write that down and make that decision. And again, if you've got to write this down as something that you can look at a later point to remind yourself, and just, and say, right, I'm making this decision because X, I'm going to be this person and this is why. And from this day forward, I promise to myself, like a contract, I promise to myself that things will be different. Okay, so really important to do that. Have those things together, those two things together, to really start to cement in what it is that it's going to be for you. Okay, so set your goals, have your motivation. That's number one. Number two is making that decision, drawing that line in the sand. Okay, and you can write it down, call it drawing the line in the sand if that helps, because that'll help you move forward. So just a couple of hellos to people who are on here at the moment. Hey Tracy, she said she was looking for us. Hey Donna. Hey Lee, how you going, mate? Hey Laura, thanks for the share. I saw the share. Hey Kylie. Apparently these are bloody convenient for. Hey Colm. Hey Cassie. Hey Debbie. Hey Keisha. Locking onto your goals. Keisha says there, good advice about locking onto your goals. Really important. Debbie says there, I need gym motivation back. Yeah, I mean, tough one to get into the gym for a lot of people. Dave Best says it's easy to listen. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate that, buddy. So we've got that. Okay, we've got our goals, we've got our motivation, and we've got our decisions. Now, commitment. All right, commitment's really important. So we've already pieced those two pieces together. But where commitment comes in is you've got to get past the hard times. Okay, so it's okay to have an idea and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But what commonly happens is that it's easy to say you're going to do something, but not so easy to follow through. So, the big thing is like gym memberships. Always an easy example. January 1, if you're a gym goer, the gym's absolutely mobbed and it's awful, especially if you're a regular person who goes to the gym. All the new people come in. But you pretty much know by the middle of January, definitely by the end of January, you're pretty much back to where you were before because everyone's lost their motivation within a month. Really easy when you have that idea to say, I'm going to do this. Not so easy to keep going and to continue to be motivated past the point at which you've said that is really difficult. So what I want everyone to do is to make that commitment and make it to yourself that you're actually going to make a contract with yourself. And you've made you've had your motivation piece, you've had your decision piece, but then what you've got to do is say that, actually write down to say, I'm going to stick with this past the good times. I'm going to stick with this past the bad times. Like your vows when you get married. For better, for worse, all that stuff. Danielle wouldn't say honour and obey. Like I really wanted her to say honour and obey, just that old school part of me, and she refused to. So I've actually told her I'm not going to renew my wedding vows at any point unless she says honour and obey. I've got no chance, but it's just funny to say it. But like making a vow to yourself, I will commit to this through the good times and through the bad. Okay, when it's hard, if it's raining outside, I'm gonna run. If I don't feel like working, I'm gonna work. If I'm tired, I'm still going to work. If I need to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning every single morning, that's what I'm going to do. Like I get up 6 a.m. every day so I can get up, get myself started, go to the gym and be back in time to start work at 8 a.m. So what is it you need to do to put that into place? Okay? And make that commitment that good times or bad, I'm going to do this. Now, this then rolls into our next bit. So number 1, motivation. Number 2, decision. Number 3, commitment. Okay, to make that commitment to yourself. Number 4 is intention. Okay, so scientifically it's been proven that setting an intention for something past having that you intend to do it, but actually setting the intention of how increases your chance of actually doing that and being successful by 50%. That's enormous. So if you physically say, this is how I'm going to do this, it makes you 50% more likely. So, i.e., if you put a date in your calendar or in your diary, that makes you 50% more likely. If you've got somebody who is you're booking an appointment with, or you're going to get them to do something, if you ask them and say, okay, what exact time? How are you going to get here? You know, it makes them 50% more likely. You know, same with anything, with your kids, with anything like that. If you're in sales, asking people those questions to lock them down to specifics, anything like that. So if you're going to work that on yourself, the intention is to create a routine. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is create a routine. So for whatever it is you want to achieve, obviously, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. Without a plan, you know, you're not going to achieve anything. Without the blueprint to your life, your dream life isn't going to get built. So what we want to do is get it documented, how it is you're going to do what you're going to do. So you've got to write this stuff down. Are you going to go to the gym? What day are you going to go to the gym? What time are you going to go to the gym? And rain, hail or shine, you go to the gym. You know, if it's going out running, you go out and run. You know, a little bit of cold or a bit of rain never hurt anyone. If it's reading a book, you sit and you read a book. If it's whatever it be. You know, working on your finances, chipping away at sorting through documents. You know, if you've got a business, if it's making prospecting calls, if it's doing your marketing, if it's going out and door knocking, whatever it be, you put it in the calendar and you do it. And as you know, if you look at the things in your life, one of the activities that we do in some of our trainings is a comparison of your best self versus your worst self. And if you compare where you're good versus where you're bad, generally the things that you achieve at and you're successful at are the things that you've got a solid commitment to it. So that might be, you know, if you've got a sport that you go to, you ensure that you're there. If you've got to take your kids somewhere, it's in the diary, nothing else goes in that spot. You need to give yourself that same level of commitment and respect that everything else does, and don't make yourself secondary. You've got to put yourself first and lock in, make a date with yourself. Make a date with your destiny, make a date with your dreams. That whatever you say you're going to do, you do it. I'm going to go to the gym on these days, I'm going to exercise these days. You know, if it comes down to food, make a date to prepare. You know, don't leave it to chance. Don't leave it to having to have convenience food or anything like that. Make it so that you give yourself the best possible chance, because otherwise you're bound to fail. Okay, book those dates in your calendar. Set that intention. Give yourself a 50% boost of a chance of having success, literally just by putting it into the plan. Because if it's in the plan, you do it. And it's like anything. If you haven't put it in the plan, like when somebody asks you and says, hey, you know, do you want to do this? And you say, oh, maybe, I'll get back to you. That is code for, no, I'm not going to do that. So if you just kind of say, I'm going to do it, but you don't lock it in the diary for yourself, you know pretty much you're not making that commitment to do it. So put some skin in the game, put it in the thing. And even better, if you've got something that you can pay for that helps you to do that, to commit to it, if you can find a way with an accountability buddy or paying for something or whatever it be, lock that in, you know, and help yourself. Karen just said there, actually, accountability partner is awesome. A buddy to work or go to the gym with. Having a buddy to do anything is probably the most powerful way of achieving things. So if you can get yourself a buddy to do anything, even if you're just checking in with each other on Facebook to say, I've done this, have you done that? And checking in, that's such a powerful way of achieving anything. So I really highly recommend the buddy system. Lee's laughing at me saying about the old school part of me. So again, guys, if you like this, please do comment as we go along. Let me know what you like. Let me know if there's something you don't like. Ask a question. Feel free to tag someone in who needs to see this. Flick me some shares and stuff. It just helps it to get out. And if you do watch these regularly, hit the screen, hit the share button. I'd really appreciate you helping me getting out a bit more. So Carolyn said here, you can put the list of things you want us to do in written form so we can follow through with it. Exactly. So maybe I'll do that as well. Outright, on request. I'll also put like a little homework in the comments so that you can remember. But obviously take good notes, because you never know. I might say one or two things that are good on these occasionally. So we're always good to take good notes. And yeah, date with your dreams. That's a good one. That's a Dave Cotton original. I think I've just come up with that today, so quote me on it. Date with your dreams. I like that one. So yeah, after intention. So step 1, motivation. Step 2 is your decision. Step 3 is your commitment. Step 4 is your intention. Okay, 2 steps left. Step 5, the big one, the most important one, action. Okay, unfortunately, not enough people take the action. So a lot of people plan and prepare, and I see so many people in personal development programs all around Perth. You see them in the online space. People are always learning, trying to get ready, but never actually doing it. The magic part is when you take the action. The Secret is a fantastic book if anybody's read it, but it misses out the key ingredient. You can manifest all of you want, but without taking action, it's not going to come to anything. Like I say, success is about luck, and my version of luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Okay, so really important that where preparation meets opportunity. So you've got to be on the field of play in order to score. You've got to be out there and working in order to achieve anything. Now, if you're out and you're busy, you're active, you're working hard, you're going to the gym, you're looking at the foods that you eat, you're investigating recipes, you're reading about why it is that you want to be healthy, about why it is that certain things damage our health. Of course you're going to be successful. If you're just thinking about these things, you're not necessarily going to be. You can manifest all you want, but nothing's necessarily going to happen. Same with your business. You can prepare and you can read books all that you want, but at some point you've got to go out and do the act of your business. And unfortunately, this is the thing that most people fall down on, is that they're procrastinating. So not taking action. It's too easy to go, I've had a hard day today, I'm not in the mood, I can't do this because of this reason, I've not got time, the kids need this, the house needs cleaning, all of these things. People major in minor things. People major in minor things. They make minor things the major part of their life. Keeping the house clean, sorting stuff out, messing with things. But so important that what we've got to do is major in major things. We call it the big rocks. What are the big rocks? What are the things that are going to build your house of success? You don't want to be messing around with the sand. You want to be messing around with the big rocks. So what are the big rocks that will make your dreams come true? If it's health goals, like you get up, you go to the gym, you come in from work, you go to the gym. Because every single time you make any kind of action, it's either taking you towards or away from your goals. Every single day, you're either taking one step forward or one step back. There's no treading water. Because one good decision, one good choice, one good habit leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. Whereas one bad habit leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. You miss one day, it's really easy to then miss another day. You miss a couple of days, that turns into a week, turns into a month. You'd be like my dad who's got a gym membership and hasn't been there for 2 years. So, what are you going to do that's the action? And it's so important. You've set your intention, you've got your commitment, but then you've got to stick to it. And that's where you say, this is who I am. This is who I am now. I'm the person who does this. I am the person who takes this action. What does a healthy person do? I'm the person who makes the healthy choice. When I go for lunch, I don't buy the pie, I buy the salad, I buy the wrap. When I go to the pub, I don't get the ultimate burger with the loaded fries. I get the Caesar salad. Or whatever it be, every single decision is taking you towards or away from your dreams and your goals and your success. So really important to take that action and to build yourself a process, a repetition. Because with successes, you can build up speed. And as you build up speed and you become a completer of tasks and you've got your good habits, it becomes easy. They become second nature. Getting up and going to the gym becomes second nature. Getting home and doing work becomes second nature. Half of days when I have this call, I have a call at 4 p.m. and by the time I've had that call, I'm normally wiped out. and I've had a couple of calls after it. By the time I get to this call, a lot of the time I'm like, oh my God, I've got to do this call. But, you know, you get on and you do it. Whether I want to do it, whether I don't want to do it, I'm on here at 6 p.m. You know, because I take it seriously and I treat my life professionally. You know, if you're going to be professional and serious about your health goals or your relationships or whatever else, you've got to give it that same level of attention and take the action. So final bit, that's step 5, okay? Step 1, motivation. 2, decision. 3, commitment. 4, intention. 5, action. Okay, 6, last bit is reflection. Okay, and this is something we need to do every so often. Is just reflect a little bit. And the key thing is, when you've set all of these things, when you've created this commitment to yourself that we're talking about here, you've set your action plan, you've got your commitment, you've got your motivation, you've got your drawing the line in the sand moment, you're making that commitment to yourself of the things that you'll give up. Final bit is reflection. And literally just every so often, once a week, once a month, check in with yourself. You know, once a week, once a month, check in. How am I going? How am I going with this? How am I going with what I've said? I said I was going to do this here. I've got my time scale here. I've got the things. I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. How am I going with this? And ask yourself that question and see where you can improve, because you've got to hold yourself accountable. How am I going? And if you're not doing very well, why? And if you're not going very well with it, refer to your motivation at the start. Well, if I keep acting like this, I'm never going to get there. And am I okay with that? Am I okay with the, you know, I'll always be, you know, I'll never have the body that I want. I won't get my business going anywhere. I won't, you know, I'm going to have poor relationships. I'm never going to improve at sport, whatever it be. Am I okay with that? Referring to your motivation, and hopefully the answer will be no. And it doesn't matter if you don't. It doesn't matter if you're falling down. It doesn't matter if you're not doing everything perfectly, because there's nobody judging you. You know, success is building good habits and sticking to it, having processes and systems that work. And sometimes they take time to implement. So the key is, it's okay if you're not perfect. Don't use it as another stick to beat yourself with. Just go back to your commitment, revisit it, get re-fired up, rewrite your plan, commit, get your diary set, and just make a commitment to yourself to say, when X happens, whatever it is that's been stopping you getting into your action, I'm going to do, you know, Y. I'm going to think about this and ask myself the question, is the person who's successful, who's healthy, who's got a good body, who's rich, who's, you know, great at sport, you know, does Tiger Woods miss out on a practice session? Probably not. Did David Beckham used to miss out on a good free kick session? Probably not. You know, and ask yourself that question and go out and do it. Like Nike say, just do it. Okay, so important to be able to take that action and make yourself do the things you don't want to do, because you know that the great good is there. So that's it for me today, guys. As always, if you've watched this, please do flick me a like, say hello, say bye. If you're watching the replay, just hit replay. Let me know that you watched on the replay. That's cool. If anyone needs to see this, comment, tag them in, let them see it. And obviously also, you know, if you watch these regularly, hit the screen, hit share them out, help me get a bit of reach. But yeah, thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate you coming on. And if you've got any questions, you want any help, anything like that, reach out to me. And yeah, I look forward to speaking to you all next week. Bye for now.